Greetings and felicitations, my lovely film class. Hope you guys are surviving okay. Today I wanted to talk to you about this week's assignment for a few minutes and just really help you to get it done correctly and to make a good grade on it. So what's cool is you guys are really learning the nuts and bolts of how a film starts. It starts with that pitch and that synopsis, and the storyline and the storyboard probably comes sometimes before the script or sometimes after the script. But every movie begins with a script that looks something like this. This is an old script from The Godfather, one of the most famous movies. It's basically a book. Each page in a script, usually, you can see it just has the title page here, and then some information about the author. You guys won't need to worry about this page, but written back in 1978. And then each page of a script is said to last about a minute of film time. So if I want a 2-hour movie, I'm going to need 120 pages. So if you look at a Harry Potter script, for example, the one about the creatures, the most recent, that didn't actually have Harry Potter in it, it had the other guy in it. I forget what it's called, about the magical creatures. It published the book of the script, and it was literally 120 pages long. The movie was about 120 minutes long, so you had a 2-hour movie. So this page would last about a minute of action. Scripts can be sold to rich Hollywood guys, and they will often buy them on speculation, called a spec script. And they might pay huge money just for the script, and it might never get made into a movie. They just want to get it off the market, let it sit a while, see if they really want to do it. So some people make a living selling spec scripts, and they've never had a movie made of one of their scripts, but they're just good enough to sell scripts. Another thing you need to know is that a script will often have many, many writers and edits. It will go through hundreds of changes. For example, the Wizard of Oz script that we'll look at in a minute, by the time it ended up as the movie, I think it had 7 different screenwriters, and they all added something. And that's one reason maybe why it's such a rich script. On the other hand, sometimes too many cooks can spoil the broth, and you get so many writers that you can tell it's been a movie with too many writers. It just kind of falls apart. It loses its original central meaning. But you can see here some of the parts of a script. You usually will tell number 2 here, for example, exterior, that means outside at Lake Tahoe during the day. You always put that slug line there. It could be interior, hotel room, night. So it's pretty simple, but you want to give the cameramen exactly what kind of light and location they're going to be shooting in. Then you'll have a description part. The early morning sky is the same leaden, lowering gray as the water. The fog, too, is gray and thick. Wind blows it in swirling gusts. The trumpet solo is a muted accompaniment. So he's even telling kind of some of the music and what it looks like. Then he gives the character. In the boat sits a man dressed in a dark business suit. He wears a fedora, 50s style. And then more description there. So you have a description section. And if you introduce a character, the first time, you would put it in all caps. They don't really introduce the character's name here yet, but we'll see it in a minute. Then you begin dialogue, and the dialogue Usually they'll just have Anthony there, Anthony. But here maybe it's just a voice over, so you don't see him yet, but you hear his voice. How long will you be gone, Michael? Just a few days. So it's just like a play script. You tell who's speaking and then what they said. Will you take me? I can't. Why do you have to go? So we already see some conflict there, and you want to keep that in your script. The little boy's already worrying, like, why does he have to go? To do business. I can help you. Someday you will. Now back to description. And you want to start your play, your movie off with action. Suddenly a shot rings out. The man in the boat slumps and falls over the side. The water's churning about the drowning body. I mean, you want something interesting or active in your script. You don't just want a man laying in his room looking at the ceiling. You've got to get things going. Simultaneously, the melancholy chords of the trumpet cut abruptly. So the trumpet has been playing and now it just stops. Then we go to an interior shot of Anthony's office during the day, and so this could be later. With a start, Anthony Andolini, notice you give the full name and capitalize it the first time you use it, awakens from his troubled dreams, and then a description. Then we go to interior washroom. So now we go into the bathroom, and we just continue like that. So the whole story is fully described with all of the dialogue in your script. And it just goes on like this. You can see another thing I'll point out is like when we see Prescott speaking here in the middle, in parentheses, is stage direction or some notes. So how is he speaking? Smoothly. So he's not angry, he's not yelling. It could be any of those things, but he's speaking smoothly. Mr. Brossard asked me to offer his apologies. Some unavoidable business at the bank. I'm George Prescott of the legal staff. I hope I can be of help. So that would be help the actor know that he should say this smoothly. And then down at the bottom, easily. So notice they don't do that all the time, but you want to put a few of those in your script to help out the actor. So you just continue on like that, scene by scene. Now, something to remember is each time you have a new scene or a change of location, you've got to give a new slug line. So here we see we've cut to the interior of Anthony's car. If we then go to outside of Anthony's car, if they get out of the car, then you've got to say exterior in front of the Empire State Building or whatever. So keep that in mind. Every little switch of scene has to have a new slug line. And sometimes you can kind of get going and forget to put that in there. But that's the beats. Each scene is a beat of the movie. And so you've got to create scenes and, let them guide the movie. So let me show you right quick the software you can use to do this really easily and quickly without having to do a bunch of formatting. And that is the Celtx script software. You can see here at the top, middle, Celtx. And you want to download, there's a lot of Celtx apps, so you want to download from your app store the Celtx script app. And then it's really easy to do these screens. So I have one opened up here, and I can just show you. For example, The Wizard of Oz here. The slug line, exterior, forest, day. And they misspelled Dorothy here. But Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and Toto, all capitalized, Walk through a thick forest in the land of Oz. So there's the description. Then Dorothy speaks. It's really scary in these woods. They hear a deep growl from wild animals in the trees. Dorothy, what was that? Scarecrow. Hopefully not a beast who likes to eat straw. Haha. Toto stands at attention with his ears perked up. Dorothy, how much longer before we out of this forest, Tin Man? I don't like it here. And so they go on talking, and again, that would be about a minute. So we go to the next page, and it's more dialogue. The lion and Dorothy, and then notice down here, the lion, ashamed. Yes, you're right. I don't have any courage at all. I'm nothing but a big coward. I've always been a coward. I guess I was born. The cowardly lion starts to cry. Tin Man, please don't cry. You'll rust my joints. The lion continues to sob uncontrollably. So you mix description, enough description, with dialogue, and that's part of the art of it, so just do the best you can. Now your assignment here is to create at least 2 pages of your script with multiple scenes and using all the different parts. Now, you could go ahead and write out your entire script if you want. It doesn't mean it has to match what comes out in your movie because things will change. They often rewrite the script as they shoot. So whatever you write out here is just going to be a sample and show that you know how to do it. So the next thing I'll show you is just how to use the different parts, and it's really easy. So I just started a new screenplay here, and you do that by touching the plus sign up in the upper left. So I touch plus, it will open up a new screenplay. I want to give it a new name. I can, let's see, somewhere I can change the, maybe back here, I can change the title, yeah. So I can change it to whatever I want to call my movie. Say today I'm going to write about COVID, Ma, and Pa, COVID. I'm just totally making this up. And it wants to spell correct everything I do, driving me crazy. And then I can put my name there. So that's on the main page where I can correct that. I would touch the title down there. So then I just open the document, make sure it's the screenplay type, and then I want to add some things, and I'll see a little bar come up here. And I want to add all of these things, so I can add whether it's exterior or interior. So I'm going to go interior, log, cabin, day, and put a period after each one. So that sets my first scene, and then I can just hit return. And now it automatically moves forward. Now I'm going to put some description, and I'm going to capitalize the names of the people. Ma and Pa, COVID, are sitting in their rockers in the main room of their cabin. Then I might go on and describe how Ma and Pa Kettle look, maybe what they're doing, but I'm just for shortness of time, I would just put more description here. What does the cabin look like? What do they look like? Etc. Then I might go to someone speaking. So maybe Pa speaks. and I'm going to have him speak. I can put a parenthetical here, how he's going to speak. Maybe he's going to speak lazily. Then I'm going to return again. And what is Pa going to say? So I put the exact words that Pa would say in his mouth. So Pa's going to say, Ma, why are you within 6 yards of me? You might have that chronal, missaying it, coronavirus. So you just begin to put the dialogue there. And again, you want to create conflict in your story and action. You don't want them just sitting around. So I'm going to have Ma react here. Ma. Pa, I've told you before, it's 6 feet, not 6 yards. And then I'm going to go back to just some description. Ma waves a frying pan at Pa. So like she's going to hit him or something. So anyway, you can describe that in more detail. But so I'm getting in all the parts here. I've got the parenthetical, which is lazily. I've got the dialogue, and I've got the descriptions. So you can make these as long or short as you want. Sometimes descriptions are mini paragraphs. Sometimes dialogue can be pretty long. But you generally want to keep everything crisp and clear. So another thing I can add as I return is I want to add a shot. So say I want medium close up. Ma holds the skillet by her face. So I particularly want that shot to be captured. I really want her angry face, and I'm even going to put that in there. She's really mad at Pa. So I've got some conflict going, and she's holding the skillet up. So that would be a camera direction. So those are the main ones you want to include multiple times. So now I'm going to go and create another scene, and I'm going to go exterior, cabin, day, and maybe Joe, son of the COVIDs, stomps up onto the porch and hammers the door. You can still use good descriptive writing. You don't just have to make it bland. And then Joe is going to say, Ma, Let me in. Little Toby's sorry, little, and I'm just making this up as I go. So it's pretty fun actually, and you can actually write some pretty cool scripts. Where's the apostrophe? Little Toby's got got the virus. And so I could just go on from there. More description, more dialogue, more scenes. But notice when I went from inside the cabin to outside, I have to change the scene. Now if I go back in, maybe the next scene is interior log cabin day again. Joe rushes into the cabin, knocking over the coat rack. And then maybe mom yells at him or whatever. So I just keep going like that. I make up my little story. You'll need to make, I want you to make at least 2 pages, but you certainly could, if you think of your whole script, it's pretty easy to type it in here pretty quickly. And then you'll have an actual shooting script for your little movie. So remember to use all the buttons at least 2 or 3 times to create at least 2 pages, and to make sure you use this. Very important that you use the format. The indentation is important to filmmakers, where everything goes, and so this makes it easy if you use the Celtics, CELTX, if you use that app. If you try it other ways, it's just not going to look right. It's not going to be good. So then I'm going to save. I'll just go back out. It will automatically save it, and then I can just go over here to the upper right to the little share button and email as a PDF to myself. Then I can download that, and then I can turn that in for my grade. So I'm looking forward to some fun scripts. Remember to keep conflict going, to keep it interesting. Think of your audience. You don't just want people sitting around not doing anything. You want your hero to have a goal and to have a story behind it. So the hero needs a goal and a quest, even if it's a short 2-minute story. Needs to have a goal and a quest and either accomplish it or not, and then have a wrap up and a conclusion. So have a hero and they have obstacles in their way, but they either finally get there or they don't in a tragedy, and then have something happen. So you can keep improving your little movie, your little script, and then eventually you're actually going to shoot it the best you can and turn in that final movie. But you'll just go up here to share and then email as PDF, and then just send it to yourself, and you should be able to then save it and upload it for your grade. So I hope that helps a little bit on scripts and script presentation, and looking forward to reading some